What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that honestly surprised me, and not in a good way. The UFC finally released the fight card for the White House event on June 14th, and in my opinion, it's a major disappointment. This event was teased as potentially the biggest card of all time, a historic event held at arguably the most iconic venue imaginable, the White House. But when the card finally dropped this past Saturday, it just felt extremely underwhelming. And today I'm going to break down why I think the UFC completely missed the mark. Let's start with the biggest issue. Outside of the two title fights, the card just feels mid. Now don't get me wrong, the championship fights are great. Fighters like Ilia Topuria and Alex Pereira are absolutely superstars in the sport right now. Both guys are must-watch fighters and legitimate draws. But if you're promoting something as the biggest fight card ever, the expectation is that the entire card is stacked from top to bottom. Instead, when you look through the rest of the fights, it feels like something closer to a standard pay-per-view, not a once-in-a-generation event. And that's the part that's confusing. This wasn't supposed to be a normal card. This was supposed to be history. Think about the opportunity the UFC had here. A fight card at the White House is something nobody ever thought we'd see. The event is also scheduled to broadcast on CBS, which opens the door to a much bigger audience than the typical MMA pay-per-view. If promoted correctly, this could have pulled massive mainstream numbers, potentially even getting close to Super Bowl level ratings. At one point, Donald Trump even said he was expecting 8 or 9 title fights on the card. That obviously set expectations extremely high, so when fans finally saw the official lineup, it didn't come anywhere close to what people were imagining. Another thing that surprised me was the number of American fighters on the card. Right now there are only 6 Americans scheduled to fight, and for an event happening at the White House, I honestly expected that number to be much higher. The rumored versions of this card included fighters like Colby Covington, Jon Jones, and even Jorge Masvidal potentially coming out of retirement. Those kinds of names would have added a huge patriotic storyline to the event. Instead, the card feels surprisingly international heavy, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it does feel strange given the location. Now, to be fair, there is still a lot of time between now and June 14th, and if we know anything about the UFC, it's that fight cards change constantly. Fighters get injured, fights fall apart, new matchups get added, so it's definitely possible that the UFC is still holding something back. Maybe a surprise fight gets added, maybe a major star steps in late, because right now, for an event that was hyped up this much, it just doesn't feel like the historic card it was supposed to be. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you think the White House card lives up to the hype, or do you agree that it's a little underwhelming? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoy UFC content, sports cards, and fight analysis, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys on the next one.